Okay, Sabonis didn't make the All-Star team this year.
No.
But for the second consecutive year, he made the All-NBA team, All-NBA third team for Domas Sabonis. His final stats, 19.4 points, 13.7 rebounds, 8.2 assists per game. He led the NBA in triple-doubles, double-doubles, rebounding. One of my favorite stats about him this year, led the NBA in total rebounds and assists since January. Kind of crazy.
Okay.
When you look back at his season, what stood out to you about Domas?
I guess his consistency, and that is his availability, being able to stay on the floor. But I also thought his consistency just with his triple doubles, his double doubles, right? And I think there was only a few games, Deuce, where you and I were like, that was one of those double games where it didn't really make the biggest impact.
Right.
But the fact that we were only able to say that about a few games, and that he only had a few lulls throughout an entire NBA season that he was on the floor for all the time for, yeah, it was pretty amazing to see him out there.
You could tell he worked on his body. I thought he moved better, especially defensively this year. When you look at big picture with Sabonis, you think about what can get better. The three-point shooting actually was efficient this year, but he took one a game. And I think this offseason, and I know he works on it every offseason, this offseason he needs to build the confidence so next year he could take more threes. If Sabonis takes and makes more threes, it changes things for the Kings. And even for roster construction, you'd be more willing to put more size with Sabonis if he could space the floor more. It's taking more mid-range shots, long mid-range shots. It's taking more threes. He has to do that next year.
I mean, how many times already in this offseason when we hear little rumors about some of these bigs out there that are going to be a free agent, we're like, but how do you put them next to Sabonis? Well, if Sabonis in this perfect world was a shooter, and you saw that develop last year, and not to say like you even feel confident with it going forward, because he's not confident with it going forward, it feels like. And you're exactly right. It's not about him just, keep shooting the basketball. It's about him building the confidence and adding that into his game.
It's like me playing pickup, Morgan.
Here we
all
go.
right. When I'm playing pickup,
Here we go.
I may not go up with the left, but when I'm just kind of shooting around my own, I'll have a lefty layup. But when I go back to my comfort zone is laying it up with the right. I'm just like Sabonis, right? No, my point is, though, you have to have the confidence to do it in the game.
Yes.
When that team leaves you open, shoot it. I also think he looks to get guys, opportunities so much. I'm like, he's got to look for his more often, I think, next year.
I'm with you on that. And I think looking for his more often isn't just going to work trying to elbow through somebody. I know everyone would love to throw out the shoulders and the elbows out there, but hey, all the bigs do it to create the space.
Shoulder.
I love it. So not only being able to just body through somebody because he's worked on his body, but to also be able to do that one shot that he started doing a lot with Doug Christie in the offseason. And what that shot was like he would do a little bit of a hezzy one way, go the other, fade away to create that space between him and the other big, and kind of have a little fadeaway jumper in the paint. That can be so easy, so dominant. You see the finesse on his shot. It's there. He's just got to feel confident doing it and just making it part of his game consistently.
He had a hell of a year, a big-time season for Domas Sabonis. Now, the last point I want to make, though, is this. If I'm the front office, this should provide some fuel and motivation for me to be aggressive. Domas Sabonis is in the prime of his career. He just turned 28 years old. He's coming off back-to-back All-NBA years, right? De'Aaron Fox had a really good year, wasn't an all-star, not an all-NBA guy, but like he's in that conversation. You have to put pieces around this team to try to win and try to actually make some noise in the playoffs.
Yep.
That's where the aggressiveness has to come in if you're the front office.
You have to elevate this roster because you look at the Western Conference and you look around, and I know we'll go over more of this in this offseason, but you go, who's going to be bad next season? And you cannot be...
You have to maximize these years with Sabonis.
Yes, and I think if you stay in the middle of the pack, like there's going to be people going, well, that's still good because you don't want to like screw up your future just to get some stars and try and make a leap or a push in the postseason. You want to make sure that you're still giving yourself stability for the future. So I think that there's a fine line to go there, but you also don't want to piss anyone off. So how they go about this, I don't know, but I think it's about, just like you said, being aggressive, spending money, and doing what you need to do to put the right guys around De'Aaron and Sabonis.
So what do you think the Kings need to do to add talent around these guys? What kind of roster moves would you like to see? What do you think of Sabonis this season? Let us know in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.